what I have for just animals in general, things like that through my stuff. So cool.
I mean, I have an entire story and background to that one, but so we can get into it. I don't know how comfortable I am sharing all of that, but a little bit. Yeah. I'm good with it. My wolf, what say you?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Right.
I'm gonna pause my TV though because she's still on the balcony, so I don't need background noise.
For the first time, we're not going to have blues in the background.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 sleeping children in the room behind me right now.
Mine are down the hallway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean to bring culture into your life with jazz, my bad.
Just, if I wanted to listen to jazz, I would be falling asleep. It doesn't calm me down, it makes me go to sleep. Country
That'd
makes
be great.
me...
It doesn't do that for me. Mine just makes me less ragey.
It does the exact opposite for me. It makes me want to murder people.
Is that everything?
No.
Most
You could have been a
things.
cop in like the 80s or the 50s or whenever the fuck jazz was relevant in the 40s.
Oh, good times.
Just furious jazz players.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the New Uppsala podcast. We're on episode 12. And
Wow.
we're going to be talking about Fylgja, spirit animal, spirit guides. As you can see, or if you're hearing, our audio is back to the normal shitty way it has been. Because we're no longer in Utah altogether.
Aw,
Yeah,
sad.
we ran out of all the recorded segments, and now we have to do it back the old way, the unfun way.
We gotta do our jobs and stuff. Super lame.
So, if you get no, no, yeah. I think those went well then. Are we seriously on episode 12?
Yep. Sir.
Hell.
Or episode 11. I don't know.
11?
12 or
I was
11.
gonna say, I didn't. Whatever. Whatever episode this is. That's cool. I didn't know we were that many into this now.
Soon
all right.
we'll be at 100. We have to do something special for the 100th.
Yeah, we do. I'll have to start thinking about that.
Yeah, it's only like 2 years away.
Yeah.
There you go. Quick math.
Like a year away.
No, it's not. It's over a year away. All right, so I'll go a year and a half to 2 years away. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
And then episode 100. We're on episode, 11, 12, whatever it is.
Okay, so you're right.
It's closer to a...
Brain no work. Math is hard.
Math is hard.
But I can do quick math. Ask me a math question.
You just didn't do quick math.
Yeah, but I can do it quick. Watch. Ask me a question.
Why the chicken cross the road?
42.
You know what's funnier than 25?
No.
26.
You're ridiculous.
That was an episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah, I remember. Vaguely, because I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob, so the only time I would see it is at like a friend's house.
Oh, those were the special times?
No, I hated that show with a passion.
What? Young cultured swine.
I'm about to make a lot of people real mad, aren't I?
No, not really. It's just a childhood TV show that fostered a whole generation of humans. Why, Wolf, you're muted.
You're muted.
You've been muted for like 2 years.
That's fine. Yeah, I haven't seen much of SpongeBob. I've seen some, but not a whole lot.
Well, you're also like the age of dinosaurs, so
Yeah.
your input is invalid in this argument.
I knew that city before it was underwater.
Oh yeah, Bikini Bottom?
It used to be Bikini Tops.
Whoa.
Whoa. Like a transition and like you in like a completely different outfit or some shit. It's like, oh, God. Like, that was amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
Bug bomb. No. Alright, cool. So, this week, outside of our random bullshit talking at the beginning of this,
We always
we're gonna
do.
talk about, that we always get into almost immediately. We're going to talk about Fylgja, or spirit guides, or spirit animals, if you will. They did have a place in Norse Paganism in Northern Europe, as well as throughout most of Europe at that point in time. But yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit. So what are your guys' initial thoughts about this in our aspect as Gothar?
It's a spirit animal. I
Okay.
did it. No, I've never felt really like one way or another. Like, I have a favorite animal, but I wouldn't say the penguin's my spirit animal. So that'd be a little depressing. I mean, it might be cool. I don't know. I love penguins, but like it should be a giveaway that like a wolf would be because of white wolf and such. But I don't know if that's even to the degree as like a spirit animal per se. I've heard a lot of rumors about spirit animals in our culture and our beliefs, on like how they come about to creation or existing in your life and things like that. But I don't know if I necessarily have one. I like when I visit the ocean and seals slap their belly. I give them fish. I like animals. I just don't like fucking cats. I think that's about it. Adrian, what are your thoughts on this topic?
So when it comes to Fylgja, spirit animal, spirit guide, whatever, it's more. I encourage it. Meeting your Fylgja, spirit animal, spirit guide. It's a different sense of comfort, and like instead of the gods, goddesses, the universe watching over you, it's your Fylgja. And sometimes people correlate it, including myself, I correlate it with ancestral veneration. So when meeting my Fylgja for the first time was a very spiritual awakening that I did not foresee at all. And it wasn't even intended, but he showed me his face and what I need to do with my life and pointed me in the right direction and said, I'm a part of you. Well, I've always been a part of you. Now you know I'm here. So let's pitter patter, let's get at her.
Right. And one of the things that I've heard, kind of to your point with ancestral, is so a lot of times spirit animals for people are their own ancestors that were reincarnated through generations or recycled through the web of weird or whatever else and came back for the family or for their bloodline to guide them. Oftentimes it says they're described as guiding, like they're spirit guides, essentially. Same kind of concept of it. And so I've heard a lot of people reference them as like, it could be a great-great-grandfather or like 40,000 great-grandfather or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of it I've heard is actual ancestors in that animal form. So it's probably the ancestral, because that's the only thing I've heard of with that.
I'm thinking of like Brother Bear, like the Disney movie. You guys see that movie?
Yeah, that's a pretty apt description, actually.
Yeah.
I have not seen that movie.
Oh my goodness, White Wolf.
It's a Disney movie.
Okay, what year?
Like,
Fairly recently.
not recently. Like,
Fairly.
early 2000s.
Yeah,
Before or after Frozen?
before.
Way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up on watching Brother Bear. Or
Yeah,
Moana with the grandmother
3.
turning into a manta ray.
You say Moana?
Yeah.
I've seen Moana.
What the flying fuck?
What?
You've
Brother
seen
Bear looked
Moana,
good in
but you
2000.
haven't seen Brother Bear?
Yeah, like I have taste.
No, you have the opposite of taste.
You are ignorant to the joys of mankind.
Are you saying Brother Bear is better than Moana or Moana?
100%.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like actually like better film wise, but it's definitely better because of nostalgia on my end.
I would say the story was written better too.
I don't know, they're both really well written. Like the overarching story is good for both
Are we
films.
actually debating Brother Bear versus Moana right now?
It's all because of Fylgja and the aspect it has the modern fucking all right, let's try to bring it back. Modern interpretations of Norse pagan Fylgja spirit animals and how the normal populace are introduced to it. See, brought it back.
There you go. So in Moana, for this reference, the grandmother turns into the manta ray that you see close to the end of the movie. That would be considered a Fylgja, and she actually has the tattoo of the manta ray on her back, which is a sign of her having a Fylgja, or a spirit guide or a spirit animal. And it references a point where the grandmother says something along the lines of, I hope I got it right, because this is what I want to turn into when I die. So that's almost perfectly in line with what you're talking about with ancestors. Again, that's more of the Pacific Islander type culture, but spirit animals and spirit guides have been around and throughout the world cultures for a very long time. And almost everywhere. There's, I don't know, Wolf, you may have a better grasp of the Chinese calendar than I do with your studies with Buddhism. No, maybe not.
I mean, yeah, but what are we talking about? Yeah, maybe.
I'm hearing this random thing, and I have no verification for this, so I'm asking you at this point. The Chinese calendar with the animals on it.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a rumor that you're more you have a higher tendency in Buddhism to reincarnate into, or after, maybe it's not Buddhism, I don't fucking know, but something with the Chinese calendar, and you reincarnate into the animal of the year that you were born into.
I don't know if I've heard that, but it's an interesting theory.
I want to say that might have, but I know of that animal traits what you're closely associated with. Same thing with the astral signs, the Gemini and all that.
Right.
Oh,
so yeah, because then, like, for example, I'm a Scorpio, but I was born the year of the snake. So those are the two.
So
like,
you're
Scorpio and the
poison.
snake. Straight ass poison. I you have poison in me, like, really? So yeah, I guess.
So I was the born of the rat, and I'm a Gemini. So I'm a two-faced rat.
Like, by definition, the snake's supposed to eat the rat.
I'm doing great.
I don't even know what my Chinese birth year thing was. I know I'm a Pisces.
Your thing, God. If you don't say zodiac, we're gonna get canceled by so many people.
No, he's gonna be I don't know what. You're probably gonna be in like an ox. No, we're pretty close.
No, it's the rat.
Yeah.
My dad's a rat. But I was born the year of the rat. He's not like He's not like Master Splinter. That'd be cool. But like he's the year of the rat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I'm a Pisces in the year of the rat. That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know the astrological signs very well. Like as far as like, I just know I'm a Scorpio. I know what terrible tendencies I always usually lean towards and stuff like that. But I don't know the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm selfish, hence Scorpio.
Mine, I want to say Gemini's like fluid and see both sides of the argument.
There's like two sides to each of them, though. Dude, the whole arena is so freaking complicated, man.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily subscribe to it, but by all means, do you.
So that's another aspect of seeing your Fylgja is subscribing to those separate aspects.
Yeah, it is. So I would say yes, I did find my Fylgja fairly young. And then it just progressively got more intense as I continued on my pagan journey. But, yeah, I was told by a Native American man a long time ago that I acted like a wolf, and I didn't take anything from that. I was like, cool, dude. And then 10 years down the line, I'm sitting there and I'm going, yeah, you know what? I think my name is Sigvidir Ulfar. I was like, wait, shit. Wait, no, hold on. That guy was right the whole time. Oh, no. But yeah, that was the first mention that I ever got of it, and I kind of talked to him about it in Spirit Animals. Keep in mind, I did not go asking a Native American man for a spirit animal. I'm not that culturally blind to shit. That is hilarious, the people that do that, because half the time they're like, you're an octopus.
Just have like a blank, like, have you seen this pet? And be like, what is it? Tell me what I've lost. I'm like, oh.
I've actually, so one of my goals whenever I move to a new place is to make peace or make friends with the Native American community around me as best I can, just because technically it was their land before the U.S. ever took it over, and I want to respect that side of the history of the land. As part of our Gothi oath, we are both sworn to guard the land and the spirits that are on it, and to create frith with them. So I always like to reach out to them and just kind of make myself known or talk to them about certain things. So I've had these conversations with them. And funny part is, one guy, he told me straight up that whenever anybody would ask him that, he'd be like, yeah, you're a cow. And he would just come up with like some fucking random animal off the top of his head. And it was hilarious to me because he was like, he told some dude he was a sparrow. So the dude took up like paragliding and shit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, I'm dead serious. The dude like went and dove into paragliding head first. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
What would he have done if he said he was a naked mole rat? Like, what activity would that be? Like,
It's gonna
hoarding and
go to
watching
Europe.
television?
Being a Twitch streamer.
No.
Alright, that's too real.
We're gonna get in trouble.
But no, spirit animals are a very, very, very real thing. They've been around the world for a long time. They can be very, very influential in your expression of self, in the way that you handle certain problems. I've been known to have a hothead, contrary to Pisces beliefs, from what I understand.
No way. You're a hothead?
It's crazy. I never would have guessed.
I'm more appalled by contrary to Pisces beliefs. That was more painful pill for me to swallow.
Well, apparently the Pisces guys are all super nice. They're fluid and go with the flow, bro, and like surfer dude stuff. And I'm like, no, I am extremely aggressive about everything. So, and I'm sure at some point somebody's gonna watch these and like leave comments or something somewhere and be like, that's just one side of Pisces. You can't just whatever. And now I just made them really mad, and they're gonna leave like a paragraph comment.
I can't wait to share it to you.
We're gonna lose like all of our Oregon viewers after this.
Good. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. But no, so they guide your life choices. Along with the aggressive side of having a wolf like Fylgja, I also have a very strong pack style mentality. The people that I do care for, I will go above and beyond for. And this is just part of my personality that I've had since I was a little kid. When my friend group got into trouble or something like that, I'd step up and take the heat for everybody, or I'd try to. So there's so many aspects like that when you do learn of, or if you have a Fylgja or spirit animal, those kind of things can influence your day-to-day life choices, which is wild. But then you look at it and you look back at the past and stuff like that, and it's just this totally different mentality once you learn those kind of things about yourself, which is super cool to see, but it can be a shock for sure.
Okay, I'm looking up now, but I'm gonna do a spiritual animal test online. Those
Yay!
What could go wrong? Let's do.
It's a penguin.
If it's a penguin, I don't even care. I fucking love penguins, man. They're dope. Best dressed freaking nature ever. I love it.
So, I just want to say, like, mine is a raven, and I found that out when, I know, popular to belief. It's weird.
Whoa.
I know. Fuck. He showed himself when I needed him most, and when I was at a crossroads, and he pointed me in the right direction. I keep on saying he could be a girl, boy, whatever. In the essence, it's an entity, but I'm just saying he for ease of saying shit. So, yeah, he showed himself to me and showed that, all right, this is the direction you need to go to, and I'm going to help you not walk your path, but oversee your path. And that's how I saw it. And that's why I get ancestral behind it, because I like, for me, my practice is very ancestral, whether it's just grandparents or great-grandparents or generations back. I like to worship them because they've taught so many important lessons, not just to the human race as a whole, but think of a few generations back. They were churning butter, and now we can just go to Walmart and get a tub of butter. And that's one of many things we can go get. So it gives a sense of privilege, but also thanks. They went through a harder time, so they made our lives better. And in the essence, I'm going through a hard time for my great-grandchildren and bloodline going down. So that's how I look at it. It's generations back helping out the current generation and so on. But I also just wanted to say, if you're a Norse pagan, you don't have to be a wolf, a raven, a bear. I know one individual that is a beaver. Their Fylgja is a beaver, and he wanted it to be a raven and everything, but in the end, he saw that his true Fylgja is a beaver because of how constructive he is. He can make anything out of everything, and he's strong enough to, or smart enough to, block a river system to better not just himself but the people around. So yeah, don't feel, as if yours Fylgja is a wolf, mine's a raven. White Wolf is gonna figure out his, but it's probably gonna be a penguin.
The first question is, what would you like to change about yourself? It's mean. This is a critical test. This is a mean test. It's the first fucking question.
Good.
But in the essence, a Fylgja is your true self. And that's how I see it. It's aspects that hold true to you and guide you in how you are. Sigvider's, he protects the pack. He's a pack person. Me, I watch over people. I like to guide them, and I necessarily don't pick fights, but I'm definitely make sure what's going on is seen. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense when you look at it in that regard. I mean, I'm sure you've met people. I think the funniest part, or one of the funniest relations to this, is if you ever watch like an old school movie, or you're from like New York or something like that. I'm stereotyping a lot of people. Some of those old like mobster movies, they'll be like, he's a rat. He's a stinking rat. And what that would mean was that they were a lying, conniving, thieving little speck that was a nuisance. Or a traitor, if that's the case. But yeah, no, those kind of aspects were taken into a lot of people's lives. And fortunately, unfortunately, the reality of their situation may be entirely different. But those perceptions that come with those animalistic tendencies that people have, which people have animalistic tendencies because we're technically just a bunch of animals. Technically, according to science. But yeah, we have those tendencies. We have those things about us that are animalistic. And it's important not to shy away from it. Embrace those parts of yourself. And if there's parts you want to change them. Like White Wolf just said with this test that he's going through right now. What's the first thing you want to change about yourself? He probably said his face, but...
There wasn't an all the above option, so that was a bummer.
Oh.
What were the options?
Yeah, what were the options? I'm curious.
Oh, I don't even know. One was like, I want to feel more settled. One was, I want to be more open to people's emotions.
Okay.
One was just straight like wanting to explore more. I don't know. There was like, it's like 8 answers per. I'm burning through it. The second question was my house at Hogwarts. So this is all over the place with this task. Like, I don't even know. It just asked my astrological sign and what I would produce on a farm. And I'm pretty sure I know that answer too, but it's not on here either. So.
What would you produce on a farm?
What's your Hogwarts house? I want to know now. We're invested.
I was going to share my screen while I did this, but I wasn't sure what questions were going to come up. My Hogwarts house is absolutely Slytherin, for the record.
I'd call you Hufflepuff, but sure.
I don't give a Hufflepuff what you say, so whatever. What is your dream job? A cook, CEO, political activist.
The job?
Who
Inventor.
wants to do that?
I didn't know that was like a job. Inventor, astronaut, or environmental scientist. See, I know that makes more sense than political activist.
When I think of political activists, I think of the people that go to like Capitol Hill and then they like yell at all the governors and all that.
Yeah, I just think of protesters, but I didn't know that was a job. Oh.
So I can somewhat explain that actually, which is surprising that you guys can't, being that you're up in Oregon.
I don't acknowledge where I live.
I don't subscribe to politics.
To the Portland area.
So, political activism is they essentially run it like a fucking presidential campaign. Have you seen like the TV shows or been in like a presidential campaign office where they're like cold calling people trying to get support and shit like that, or they're like out on the street and yeah, they actually get paid to do that stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, the only cold calls I get is if I want to increase my auto loan or if I want a free chip.
A free chip?
A free trip.
Oh, trip.
Yeah.
I said chip, and I was like, oh, we're going that route now. Holy hell. Like the fucking Tesla coil one that goes in your head? Like what kind of chip are we talking about? Is it like a Dorito?
No, I want the Google glasses.
I don't need all that. They don't need to see what I look at.
So I've thought about like smart glasses before and all that stuff, and how useful it would be as us as practitioners, which I know would change, a lot of things. But like, imagine doing a bloat and like you can literally have like what you've written and like what you want to say in like verbatim, like right here that no one else could see. Like it would be hugely beneficial, but like also that'd be so distracting. And who does a bloat with sunglasses on? But I thought like that'd be really cool to like have like what your script is. It would be nice because I forget that shit. I just halfway through it, I do it right, and then I just like make it up, and then I come back to what I remember. Like
I think that's the beauty behind it, though.
Like, those are the things that you're being guided to say at that point. Like you, so we can talk about that real quick before Wolf shares what his spirit animal was.
Oh, I'm not even done. It's a freaking long quiz, man.
Jeez, I know. We can talk about that for a second, though. How we experience bloats and like the freeze that happens. Because I don't know, Rain Raven, have you experienced that yet? You'll be like doing a rune casting or a rune pull for somebody, or you're in the middle of a ritual or ceremony or something, and you just go completely blank.
Yeah.
Like
I did it in Utah, but then I also did it in Korea when I was there. When I want to say I did Winter Nights or something like that, or maybe it was a full moon ceremony, and there was this baby heathen, and he was like asking me a basic question, and I just blanked. I was like, I know this. I know this.
John somewhere is fuming pissed right now.
Yeah. Oh, so how was Midgard created? Fuck, how?
So bad.
Oh, that was funny though, because I heard that from the other room on that study group call, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like Brooke heard me, my wife. She hears me, mutes the call, and goes, "Honey." I was like, "Oh, I heard it." I don't know, but those kind of things happen when we're in the middle of rituals or ceremonies and stuff like that, or one-on-one conversations. I've done it during rune pulls where I just sit there for like 5 minutes, and there's just nothing. Or I'll be in the middle of telling a story or answering a question, and it's like my tongue just gets pulled out of my freaking mouth, and there are no words. Like I've tried to say it, you're sitting there like, and it's just nothing. And you know it. You know what you want to say, but just blank. And nothing happens. It's the craziest experience because it happens with those basic questions like, is Thor and Loki brothers? And you're like, and at some point, those questions, you're just like, you're not supposed to. And what I attribute it to is somebody is saying they don't need that answer. They don't want to know that. That's not for you to tell them. That's for them to figure out themselves. And oftentimes it's with advice or life advice or spiritual advice that kind of stuff happens. I'm like, yeah, I could tell you exactly what to do and how I did it and how I've helped other people do it. But apparently I'm not supposed to say shit right now. Because this is on you to figure out, man. And it's just one of those things it's crazy to think about and deal with. In the moment, it's ridiculous.
You have when that happens where it's someone else is saying they need to figure this out on themselves, but naturally as a gothar you want to help and be a bridge. It's fighting the inner battle between what's being told through you versus your actual nature. I find it's extremely it's hard. It's like fighting two brains all at the same time.
Yeah. And fortunately or unfortunately, I think I've conditioned the community that's around my local area to just accept that kind of thing. Like, they'll be into it, and I'm like, yeah, and you can do this and this and this, and just no words come out. They're like, you got stopped, didn't you? And I was like, I'm not allowed to tell you things right now. Tell me it's a penguin.
It's a penguin.
I wish it was a penguin.
What is it?
It's a raccoon.
A trash panda.
It's a fucking trash panda. I'm gonna read what it says because I haven't read it yet. It just shows this little, like, baby raccoon. I fucking hate everything.
Say it, White Wolf.
It says, despite their reputations, raccoons have many positive traits. These cunning mischief makers are confident, curious, and assertive. But most of all, they're adaptive survivors that have learned to use humans to help them survive. If you have a raccoon guiding your life, you will likely use your skills to help others. Raccoons put their family and tribe before anything else. With your ability to think outside the box, you can create opportunities to transform your life and the lives of all around you. I'm a fucking raccoon.
Yeah, you could transform everyone's life around you by eating all the trash.
Yeah, no, clean up the area, right? Oh my god, that was a long quiz.
How many questions?
I'm throw this out there real quick. These chaotic little tricksters was like the first couple of
I
sentences.
thought about as I was reading. I'm like, fuck. I don't know how. I didn't show how many questions there are. It felt like there were 1,000, but I'll put it in like our chat, and you guys can have at it if you'd like. But that was rough.
I love that. That fits you so well, you little trash panda.
Fucking trash panda. I mean, it's like black and white-ish. It's black and gray. It's kind of like penguins, right?
Yeah. It's a land penguin.
It's a land penguin. No, don't insult penguins like that. It's a trash panda.
A trash panda.
It's so well, though. I agree with it, honestly. To a certain point, I can see it.
I just think of Rocky Raccoon in prison in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, oh, whoa.
The raccoon, dude, I can see it.
But, with each spirit animal, there's a positive and negative side behind it.
Oh, they're survivors. They're scrappy little survivors.
Oh yeah, they'll. I saw one that attacked a girl, and then the mom came out and got the raccoon off the little girl, and that raccoon was going ham on the mom.
Dude, they're mean shit. So
my question is, if these are one of my ancestors, what asshole ancestor turned into a fucking raccoon? Who'd he piss off? Who'd they piss off?
That's great.
Like all these things in the world and possibly more, and then they're like raccoon. Like, what the fuck?
They're a tiny little trickster. Agents of Chaos.
Doesn't say Agents of Chaos. I don't remember.
It says something about chaos, chaotic.
Yeah. I'm just thinking back of the episode of the realization that White Wolf and Loki's life are very similar.
Same but different, asshole.
They're way closer than same but different. They're parallel almost.
I'm gonna find all the similarities between Heimdall and Loki and just run it. Like,
all right, I dare you. Go for it.
It's gonna be like my own assignment. That's gonna be our next topic. Is like, all right, let's see all the gods and who's the most similar to Loki, and just stack them.
That's great. Well, Odin is, but sure.
Yeah.
Other than Odin.
Other than Odin, which one's most similar? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I need to pay attention to raccoons. Sure. I need to pay attention more to raccoons. I had a bunch of them living in my cabin for a long time. They were huge. I didn't let my dog out. They were like this round, and they were just big haunches moving through the snow. They're terrifying.
Exactly.
So apparently I need to give homage to raccoons more often. That's been the opposite of my entire life. So
yeah.
Is there any lore behind a raccoon? There's none that I know of.
Sure, it has something to do with Loki. If there is, let's see.
Oh, I'm so down for this search. Hold on, we're looking this shit up. This is gonna be great. Raccoon
I don't think there would have been, because then are they native to that land? Like, there's no way our ancestors would have had like that same lore and stuff to it.
If not, then what would be the closest
Like
connection?
A squirrel? It would be like Ratatusker, in my opinion. But like,
I could see that being just trying to be chaotic and destroy his own home by pissing off two entities.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm looking this shit up. This is gonna be great.
Raccoon is a trickster spirit in many North American tribes, particularly common in more light-hearted tales aimed at children. In some raccoon legends, he is portrayed purely as a mischief maker, while the legends of other tribes focus on raccoons using his cleverness and dexterity to escape from danger or acquire food. Basically, Aladdin.
Okay. I just Google searched raccoons in Northern Europe.
Oh god, how's that looking?
The fourth fucking headline is thenationalnews.com. Nazi raccoons on the rampage as European population.
Yeah, little patches on them. like, is that a Nazi raccoon? Completely bald except for right there.
No, but you know what? I have seen raccoons do something very eerily similar to what Nazi Germany would do as a salute. If you've ever seen them stand up on their hind legs, they got their fucking paw out here like this.
Every animal does that.
Not like a raccoon does, because they keep their fingers straight and everything, man. Raccoons are Nazis. All right. Anyways.
Yeah, but when like Norse Paganism and everything, I could see a squirrel, Ratatasker, be.
It would probably be the closest thing. Let's see. What is this?
Oh, cool.
This is naming a lot of gods and goddesses and their spirit animals, and apparently Vula, a goddess of secrets, counsel, and beauty, a friend of Odin and Frigga's spirit animal is a raccoon. I am now looking through my drive for Vula, and I hope I'm not a fucking moron. And it's not like Voluspa or some shit.
Vulva.
Yeah, it's not that. I don't
know. It might be.
Vulla.
Well, while he's looking that up, this is your friendly neighborhood reminder to go outside. It's fucking summer.
Yeah. Yeah, be outside. Don't get sunburned, though. Skin cancer's bad.
Oh, I was outside for a long time the other day. I was like, man, I went outside recently. I went outside every day. But one time I went outside that actually meant this shit. And it was last Saturday, I think it was. I went to a Snoop Dogg concert. That was fucking awesome.
Let me guess, you you had the Snoop Dogg experience.
Well, so we were freaking out because we think, okay, we can't take like weed in with us because it's like an amphitheater, it's security, not because of who's playing, but because of the building and maintenance and shit like that, and security overall. And so like, okay, so we're looking stuff up. It just says no illegal items or no illegal contraband. I'm like, okay, it's not illegal there. It's not illegal where I live. Let's go for it. So we're like, I'm like literally having like edibles in like my socks, in my boots. Like I'm like, hey, just in case, I'm gonna smuggle some shit through, like legit. And we're standing in this line to get in, right? Standing there, not too long, way longer than you want to. And this bomb sniffing dog comes up, sniffs, goes by, and that was the entire security protocol. Like, there was nobody that checked like my shit. They didn't frisk me, nothing. They just went in. And then so I get there, like, fuck. So we have all this weed. Like, we did take a lot of it. And so for like at least 9 hours, we were completely stoned, which is fantastic. And Snoop Dogg's like, we can see, like, we're there. Like, we're not like, oh, like, we're like, holy shit. And they're throwing out lighters, like, all the time for everyone to smoke. I have a picture of where I'm sitting and Snoop Dogg, and you can't see Snoop Dogg because it's just pure smoke, and it's an outdoor arena. And Snoop Dogg goes, "Man, I can't even see my audience. There's so much smoke." And I was like, "Yes!" So yeah, no, we had a whole. And I mean, so eventually I had to get food, right? I wasn't hungry, but that's not up to me. And so they're like, "Hey, go get me some food." I'm like, "Okay." So I wander off. Never been there in my life. Don't know where I'm going. And I'm just higher than a giraffe's nutsack. And I'm start wandering around society. And so eventually I'm in the group chat with her and her friend. Thank God. Like, just texting, not like even about the concert. She lives in Montana. And I'm like, I'm so high. I don't know if I can find my way back. And so they're like coaching me through the text. And I'm like, I've got all the food. I'm fine. I got a drink too. Like, I'm good. But I was like, I was surviving. I was raccooning that shit 100%. And so eventually she goes, "Just follow the vibe. You'll find her." And then the next picture they get is me and her sitting next to each other. And I'm like, I did it.
You found the vibe.
We did it. Yeah, no. So I went outside. That was my I went outside recently.
Now, the only image that's in my head is a raccoon hanging onto a giraffe's nutsack.
Smoking a blunt.
On like a swing, like, yeah.
I have a new tattoo for you to get.
Knock it. That's so funny.
Will you get a raccoon smoking a blunt?
Raccoon just like Bill Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would fit. That would fit your personality type.
One of my backgrounds on one of my devices is the picture of the raccoon that's clutching the beer that died, like that froze to death like that in the pickup. Oh, you guys seen that? It's in the back of the pickup, and it's got a full beer, and it's just dead. But that's like one of my background images. Maybe I am a raccoon. Shit, I don't know.
Why would that online test lie?
Yeah, right?
Eerily accurate.
It's flawless.
In the description, that was eerily accurate.
I mean, your
shit.
warg how or what? Words are hard.
What did you just try to say?
I don't know.
The Harry Potter Hogwarts, your Hogwarts house came into effect because you picked Slytherin and they're cunning.
I still think he's a Hufflepuff with the honey badger aspect. It's the closest to a raccoon.
Dude, I've shot. No one's gonna like this podcast. I shot a honey badger like 5 times with a fucking 5.56, and that fucker ran at me afterwards. Those things are invincible, and I ran away. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. We left entirely.
Honey badgers will scare away bears, like grizzly bears.
Yeah, they're nuts. We saw it, and I was like, "Is that a badger?" So we go pop, pop, and it just turns. We're like, "Oh, fucking light it up!" So we just shoot the shit out of it, and it's running up this fucking dirt sand hill. And we're like, "Nope," and we all just left. That's not that fucking route, I guess. We took a detour. I'm not going near that.
You just did a hit and run.
It ran at me.
You severely underestimated your opponent. I think the only animal story that I can honestly say I almost shit my pants. So I was camping, and I was alone. Don't do that. Don't go camping alone. Bad idea. And I open my tent door in the morning, and I look out, and there's literally a fucking wolf 5 feet from me, just hanging out by my fire that I had the night before. And I'm like, I just sit there and I stare at it. And then other ones start coming out of the trees, and I was like, well, nope, I'm gonna die here today. So I just closed the tent door and waited for him to leave. And I was like,
I just imagine you being stark naked as you unzip.
I was.
And I'm like, fuck.
Dude.
That's when you just say, sup, bro? Alright, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I don't need to be awake right now.
Yeah. Clean up when you're done. I'm out.
Go on about your business, sir. I apologize. No, that shit was fun though. It was a cool experience because later I saw them again. I was on a hike and they were 400 or 500 yards off and they were doing their own thing. But I just saw them again and I was like, oh shit. I should probably leave because I don't think they're just gonna leave me alone now. But yeah, no, that was sketchy.
I don't think I have a scary animal experience. Other
I had
than
a shitload.
when our family had chickens, I had a rooster come charge at me.
Man, a whole ass rooster.
It's like
A whole ass rooster.
brand new 21-year-old girl in a New York bar. That cock just kept running at her.
Oh no.
You gotta watch out for them nuggets.
So that water level.
That
Crazy.
water level, dude, it's so high, it's crazy. Crazy. I should look up the footage right now of it. Have you been up to Causey lately? Have you seen the water level? It's fucking nuts.
No.
It was high. It's higher than I was at Snoop Dogg. It's really high.
I told my wife about that. About the whole conversation of the whole irony behind the water level. And now it's just ironically said, you seen that water level? It's fucking crazy.
Like awkward silence, like it's that water level. It's fucking crazy. Dude, our guests that were at the cabin, literally they would come in, they're like, man, you see the water level? I'm like, thank you. Like, I was like, you have to tell Rain Raven this because he doesn't believe me that this is an important topic for not a lot of people.
So a lot of people didn't know the state of Utah got absolutely drowned this spring. So the Great Salt Lake over here has been slowly dropping, just losing water every year for a long time. And I think it was between November and the end of January, the water level of the Great Salt Lake rose by like 2 feet. Not inches, feet. It was just like this astronomical amount of just dump of water, and it hit every other lake and river around. There were flood warnings going around. Everybody was like, oh no, my house. And I was like, I live on a hill. Get wrecked. But yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, water, Utah.
That fucking water level is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It isn't always that high. It was super high.
Keep in mind, you're talking to two dudes that worked on farms growing up. Like,
That's so true.
Rain is a good thing, okay? We all know it. We all know the song.
Such a good song.
No one I'm trying to swath hay, but whatever.
Okay, sometimes Rain is an asshole. Not Rain Raven.
But that is true.
Okay, all right. I just didn't want to be the one to say it, but if we're just gonna openly admit it, that's fine.
You literally said it.
Yeah, I'll say it. I could be an asshole.
Oh,
but it's very far and few between because I'm a sweet little angel. I'm just a fucking tall.
There's 3 statements you made right there that are wrong.
Ouch.
1, you're not sweet. You're salty as shit.
True.
2, you're not little in any regard of a human being.
Parts of me are.
That I'm aware of. Let me read it. That I'm aware of.
What are you talking about? We both went to basic.
And 3, you're not an angel, man.
Why? Because I have red hair?
Yes.
Partly.
Damn. South Park strikes again. So Fylgja's right? That's so fucking crazy.
I need to, yeah. So my cousins have a pet raccoon. There's a lot of raccoons in my life. But yeah, they have a pet raccoon that lives inside their house. It's fucking huge too.
Why is it? You need a pet raccoon. You need to stop getting dogs. You need a pet raccoon.
You think I'm the one getting the dogs? That's very nice of you to think I have that kind of authority.
Somehow you acquire them. So.
Yeah, I know. I don't get them. I just get them.
Through partnership. That's how he gets them.
Yeah.
Through partnership.
Raccoons, interesting. No. So if that's the case, do we know of any other, like, outside of obviously Native American culture? I would argue is where it all originated from. I was obviously trying to look up like origins of spiritual guides and animals. There wasn't a whole lot of origin, obviously. Multicultural is going to be multicultural in the same sense as where they get connected to some animals or not. But I just don't know a whole lot of other. Again, this is something that I'm not really versed on. If you guys know more stories of spiritual animal type things.
Yeah, I know a few. Unless Rain Raven, did you want to go with this?
I just wanted to mention Africa is huge into spirit animals. Whether they use the term Fylgja, I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure just Norse use the term Fylgja, but spirit animal in general is seen across the world in every spiritual essence and tribe and, you know, everything far and few between.
Like Mushu and Milan.
Yes. Actually, yes. That one you know.
That would be a spirit guardian.
Spirit guide. He actually said spirit guide in the movie.
He's a guardian, though. He's pointing Mulan in the right direction and protecting her from harm. That's why he was doing all the messed up shit to all the boys.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
In the movie, the spirit guardian they have is the dragon that Mushu tries to wake up.
Oh, yeah.
That was spirit guardian. Mushu was a spirit guide. Totally, regardless, it's cutting hairs at that point. But, so obviously Native American lore is super into the spirit animal stuff. The Celtic traditions or Druidic traditions are super, super into it. Like, they have a lot involving that, even so much as I'm sure some people that listen to us have played D&D before. The Druid class that they have, where you can shapeshift into animals, that came from Celtic lore. Celtic and Druidic lore. Obviously, Norse Paganism does. We have the term Fylgja, which is the spirit animal or spirit guide. Asian cultures oftentimes have them. From Chinese, I believe Hindu does as well, if I'm not mistaken. Chinese, Japanese, and Hindu lore has those things. Africa's super big into it. So in reality, when you widen that breadth of search on what you're looking for with spirit animals and stuff like that, it comes down to pre-Abrahamic faiths oftentimes had a nature-centric religion to them, or nature-centric practice, which frequently held spirit guides or spirit animals in high regard.
Well, I mean, even Abrahamic does too. I mean, you talk about a lot of Christian is lion the lamb, and they have the dove, and they have these certain things. Even the Vatican, one of their highest callings or positions is called a cardinal. Like, every one of them has some sort of animal connection of some kind.
And I think what that truly stems from, in a theological point of view, is as human beings here on Midgard, we see nature around us as something to keep and hold dear. So we attribute animalistic characteristics. Animal characteristics. I think both of those were right, but
Say
whatever.
that 10 times fast.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Like, that's what we just witnessed.
Time. What do you? But those characteristics are oftentimes seen as a way to relate to our natural world. Especially with, I know there are some people at also Pacific Islanders, they also have those relations as well. I know the tribal islands of New Zealand and those places big time.
I think it would be easier to find all those places that don't.
Yeah.
Than places that do.
Even in Central Asia,
So
in
China.
that area, the Middle East. I was trying to find the word, but it's technically Central Asia. It's fucking. In the Middle East, they also have these when you go back to the Assassin, and their relation to cobras or scorpions, and they had different classifications of animal characteristics to their people and stuff like that to their warriors. So there's always, and South American cultures with the Aztecs and the Mayans. So really, yes, it would be far easier to try and find the place that doesn't historically. But even then, I don't know that you would find any.
The only one that I'm thinking of is Russia, and I'm not sure if it's just my ignorance or the American school system failing me.
Tons to do with, like, obviously, like a bear and stuff like that is the most, like, I guess. I
know, like, they wear the bear fur and everything, but it's also fucking
I thought they had, like, a
cold
whole
up there.
thing.
I'm trying to think of animalistic.
So you want me to dig in?
Yeah.
They were called the Rus, and they also worshipped very similar gods to the Norwegian or Northern European countries.
I knew of that, like, way back in the day. I'm thinking, like, modern day Russia.
Modern times, most things have gone to Abrahamic religions.
Yeah, that's true.
So most of that stuff has piddled out, except for the Lion of God and the Lamb of God thing, and the lion protects the pride, or the...
Alright, Lion King.
Yeah, I don't know. But what I think is funny is that somehow, I'm just gonna say it because I don't care right now. I think it's hilarious that in Christianity, they considered the lion the protector of the herd of sheep.
I thought it was the sheepdog.
No. They reference the lion as the ones that protect the sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, they gotta eat, so might as well protect your food source.
Right?
I guess.
Outside of the Russian bear, which is the symbol since the 16th century, I'm trying to look at other stuff for Russia on what they do. I have to. It's a spiritual thing too. It's not even like an actual like it's not like their fucking favorite animal. There was a spiritual. I swear there was this huge thing with it in like Siberia and stuff like that. But I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know. Maybe I dreamt it and just made it up in my dream or some shit. But
I don't know. Well, we mentioned a couple things that, like, Disney, the biggest corporation in the world, is one of the best people that share spirit animals to the everyday people.
I mean, yeah, they do all sorts of stuff to them, but they do bring that culture or that story to life, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, currently, the most recent one that I know of is you got Brave, and then you got Mulan, you got Moana. It's just a lot of films showing that the spirit animal, spirit guide is still alive and still needed to be connected. And people still need to reach out to their spirit guides, whether it's actively or is it reactively through a situation.
That's why this is all sounding so familiar. So with a lot of like Russian mythological creatures, things like that, it's the Kikimora, the Baby Yaga, the Leshy. Which that's why
Baby Yaga.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga.
What did I say?
Baby Yaga.
Baba. What's up, baby?
Come on,
it's a little one.
You've played The Witcher.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But that's the whole thing, is like that's why it sounds familiar, is because The Witcher and everything with it obviously comes from these cultures. And so that's probably why it was bugging me, because the Leshy being the Leshins, like all sorts of crap. That I was like, ugh. Okay. Well, I feel better in my brain now that I knew something, but it was.
So if you dig into Slavic lore, is what it's called, is the Slavic peoples that came up with this stuff. They also have those gods that are attributed to certain animals and stuff like that. So yes, they would. In today's modern world, probably not. I mean, it really depends on who you're talking to in today's world, because we have so much information, the age of information type thing. So with the Abrahamic cultures taking over most of the world, we have this, I want to say, negligence of learning, regardless of all the information we have. But I don't think negligence is the right word. I think that gives it a bad light.
It's absence of intelligence, but not due to resources, basically.
So technically that would be negligence, but it's... Anyways, we have these cultures...
Troglodytes rocking around, right?
Yeah, totally. We're just causing problems. But we have these things where people get so stuck in their ways that they don't learn any of the cultures that predate or are different from theirs. And we've seen a shift in that recently over the last 10 to 15 years, probably, where people are starting to research stuff, whether it's through ancestral ties, through ancestry.com or something like that. So they dig into what their ancestors would have believed and they learn different things. Or they just pick up a random book one day and they start reading about stuff. Or they're playing a video game and they start reading things about that, like The Witcher or God of War or any of those, or the TV shows that influence those kind of things. So people start to research it. That's been interesting to see. But yeah, in today's world, I don't know very many cultures that do it exclusively outside of... Right now, from what I'm aware of, the Native American peoples still do. The indigenous peoples, or whatever the PC term is.
Druidics and such. And they talk about culture, not spirit.
And we do, but it's just not mainstream at this point, if that makes sense. Like, I can't think of a country that's strictly under that kind of ideology. But maybe I'm wrong.
The Vatican?
You mean with the fish god?
But then, so when you said something about like a country being like having a Fylgja, the US and an eagle.
So that's not what I mean. I can't think of a group of people, like a country's population that practices under the same banner that would have a spirit animal type culture, a nature-centric religion that governs a country or is super popular.
One that's large enough to be the majority is what you're saying. Is I'm sure there is, like, to our point, like in Africa, things like that, that's a little bit more heavier there. But even over here, I'm trying to think.
Would argue the eagle.
Well, yeah, that would be the symbol of America.
But it's also the Fylgja of America.
That's a bold claim right now. We're more like a drunk pigeon.
Which, what was it, Edison or Jefferson? I'm terrible. Was going to have the turkey, so that seems a little more appropriate right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're more like a drunk pigeon at the moment than an actual.
We're still a world power, still a major factor in the world economical stage. But then if you come down to what an eagle is, a fucking bird of prey high in the sky that has laser sight vision, that is an apex predator in the sky, that is undefeated. I'm immediately thinking of Air Force. But in the end, it's freedom, as in this aspect of the eagle has no predators, so he flies freely.
Okay. And I get what you're saying. That's not necessarily what I meant by that, though. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I mean, biblically, in the Bible, it states something along the lines of the land of the eagle will fall to the bear and the tiger, or something like that. if I remember correctly, at some point in there, which is wild to me.
It would be, I mean, that's like Masonic stuff too with Ox and such, so it would just depend on what you're referencing.
That's a new one. That's one we haven't really explored. I don't know if any of us can truly say anything about the Masonic group or anything like that with the Freemasons, but
I may know a thing or two, but basically in that same sense, it's like I said, the Ox and everything with it, but it's not like a, I don't know, it's not representing a culture or a nation of sorts. So it's kind of what we're talking about, is that world scale stuff. But definitely societies like Freemasons, like that, they do have those very prevalent. It is very all over the place. Even the rituals that go on are very animal focused. Even with the garb, the decor, the callings of it, like everything with it is very animalistic. So I mean, as far as societies, sure, but not like full cultures and countries.
Right. I mean, we can even talk in that whole organization style aspect. We could talk about our school itself with the Raven, the Stag, and the Wolf.
Right.
All of those are represented in our school for their different properties and how we see them. So, yeah, they're all there. It's all over the world. It never really left. I just can't think of a country that practices it. I don't want to say exclusively, but as a majority. Except for maybe somewhere in Africa or...
I mean, but Africa would be more along tribe instead of country. I think tribe would be a better term when you're thinking about Africa. But I'm thinking like ancestral, and I'm thinking of Japan. They're still very ancestral through it. And having it as a guide, like in the movie Mulan.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I was going to make the joke of what's their Fylgja now, Hello Kitty, but that was...
But the same with China, like China and like the panda.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You can just go with dragon or anything to that effect. Like
dragon, monkey, tiger, panda.
I mean, another thing that I wanted to bring up was, like, you said it was very earth-based, and that's what paganism is. It's an earth-based religion. And we have gods that are associated with certain animals, same as other cultures, one being that I'm going to name the Chinese paganism. You got Wukong, which is the Monkey King. He's a trickster. So yeah, there's that. I want to say the story goes that he's a monkey, that it was an actual monkey that got divine powers or something like that.
So it was, oh hell, I'm gonna butcher this, but it was a man that was cursed to be a monkey, but throughout his deeds he became a monkey king and a master of certain martial arts and stuff like that, and spiritual practices that allowed that kind of thing. And I probably just butchered the hell out of that, but yeah.
Oh, you did better than me.
If I remember correctly, don't quote me, do your own research, read a book, do something. But if I remember correctly from my menial research into Chinese lore and their histories, that's what that was. But I might be wrong. I was probably looking it up right now. But yeah.
No, I was just looking up if there was any other, like, I'm looking at like Ratatusker and stuff now, and I was looking at like if there are other like rodent or like smaller animal like that style of that family in much of Norse mythology outside of Ratatusker. Like, is Ratatusker the standalone squirrel, and there's no other like little creatures like it? Because we have like cats and all that stuff, like a lot of house and common pets. But like when you're looking at other animals such as Ratatusker, I was just seeing if there's any correlation to any other mentionings of rodents or animals that like that nature in our books, but I can't see anything.
So somebody's going to be really mad at me right now that's not on this call, but Uller might be associated with a raccoon as a forest-based animal.
But is it forest-based exclusively? Or is it able to adapt to the needed environment?
It's in every major city in the world, basically.
Yeah, that's now, but
I'm just saying the raccoon can live in the forest, but then can also live in an urban setting. The raccoon adapts to the environment that it's in. That's why it's resistant or persistent. And
so, yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of rodents, but when I'm thinking of rodents, it's rat, mouse. There's not a lot.
Everyone loves those kookaburras, or
what the fuck are you talking about?
It's a kookaburra or oh fuck.
A cocoa bear?
It's what is it?
Capybara?
Maybe. It's the largest rodent in the world.
Yeah.
What is it?
The capybara or something like that?
Capybara, that sounds right. Capybara. They have in shit. I don't know. I can't remember what country. I think it's Thailand or something like that. They have cafes, and capybara just walk around. It's a capybara cafe and shit like that. Like they're just, it's like peacocks, but it's a big ass fucking rodent.
Oh, you're talking like Cocoa Bear.
You mean a koala bear?
No, not a koala bear. I'm talking about a capybara. You're right. It's the capybara.
What the hell's a cocoa bear?
No, that's why he was saying.
Oh.
I was like, what are you, Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs?
Yeah, I was like, it's the new cereal and just chocolate bears. It's Cocoa Bears.
New Uppsala has sponsored Cocoa Bears.
They have, it's a marsupial, so it's technically closer related to monkeys, but they have the little thing that they call it a cocoa bear or something like that, which is like the little marsupial thing that eats coffee beans and then shits them out, and it's supposedly like really good coffee, but you're eating an animal shit.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, if you think about it, we're drinking dinosaur piss.
Yeah, I probably drank my piss at this point.
Probably.
Dinosaur stuff.
Wait, you actually bought that? I didn't know you bought that one.
Yeah. Like, apparently. I didn't buy, I mean, I bought it, but I didn't choose shit.
Because I know I thought about getting one, but I wanted one of each. And the stupid person was like, I don't know.
Oh, dude, we could look at the top. It says which one's in it.
What?
Yeah. It has a little check mark to which one it is.
So, Sigvidir, you need to do grocery shopping for me.
Son of a bitch. This is a Triceratops one.
Okay.
Stupid. We could have just looked on the box.
A fucking store attendant.
That is
but the employee didn't even know. They probably the one that marked it.
Y'all are playing with dinosaurs that aren't even real fast.
Don't be hating
what
on
else do you do at the
dinosaurs.
dinosaur park?
Why did two grown men go to the dinosaur park?
There wasn't. It was two grown men and a full-grown woman too.
Okay.
And several gummies in.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
I think it was mine.
I'm not surprised, you fucking...
You know how cool it is to get high at the dinosaur park?
Wait, what was it? You touched a real life dinosaur bone, and then
I did.
My gummy was like kicking in, and I was like, whoa, this is trippy.
Be the one touching it and being like, holy fuck! Yeah, I got to touch a Tyrannosaurus claw. I think we went over this in the other podcast. We were all shit faced on. It was a Tyrannosaurus claw, like a real one. They just got out of the stone, put together. They were reconstructing. It was all legit. And I asked the question that I thought I'd get the exact answer to, and I said, I already know the answer, but can I touch it? And this little old scientist woman, Kyo's little thing was just like, or I said, can I hold it? And she goes, I can't let you hold it, but tell you what. And she kind of like, I'll let you touch it, but I have to hold it. And I was like, fucking deal. And so I got to like touch it, and it was fucking cool. And yeah, no, that was trippy when you're high. That was a different experience.
I'm sorry. You guys, we don't have this in Oregon. The most we have is like ocean based, but I love dinosaurs. If I wasn't being a chaplain as a job, I would want my other dream job as a paleontologist. But I settled it being a hobby because I don't want to go to school for 10 years.
I just want to point out, this is what I deal with on, at the very least, twice a week basis, is 2 full-grown men that play with dinosaurs.
I haven't played with shit. Okay, I touched a real ass dinosaur bone.
Dinosaurs.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
You wanted to dig in the sand pit with the children.
No, I was the only one that wasn't going to do that because I have already done that my whole life growing up. So I wanted them to have the experience.
I wanted to do it, but then I don't want to add to the stereotype with a religious figure hanging around and touching children.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids there, and we decided to steer clear.
Why would you touch the children?
I wanted to touch the dinosaur bone.
Oh.
Yeah, what if they were like, I got a skull. Give him a skull. It's time now.
No, but I bought like a lot of Jurassic Park memorabilia because I've been on a Jurassic Park kick. I'm like listening to the book and everything. So
It's year 20 of your Jurassic Park kick.
it's the 30th anniversary this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm so happy.
Of Jurassic Park or of your addiction?
No, it's Jurassic Park
Right?
30th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going? Are they going to do something at the Moda Center again? Do you know of?
No, I think that was it. I was so
I bet
pissed.
Omzi's going to do something.
They had a dinosaur exhibit a couple years ago. I went and I touched a T-Rex. Just like we did at the dinosaur park, I touched a lot of stuff.
You're near McMinimans in North Portland. Sometimes, like for Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, they do an entire weekend because it's it's like it's a bunch of bars and restaurants, and it's actually a hotel inside too. And they have a theater, like a real theater, and they play every movie. And so I wonder if they're doing something for Jurassic Park. That'd be cool. Because they seem like the whole place like that, like every bars, every theme, like everything. It's super cool. And I want to find out for you because if that's happening, double dating that shit.
Well, my dream car is the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys saw my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your own little Jurassic Park.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
You guys are ridiculous.
Oh. Hold on, I may have found it.
Oh.
Jurassic Park in Kennedy School, which is the name of the McMiniman I was thinking of. Give me more information.
Nothing like looking up Jurassic Park during work.
Spirit animals, maybe yours is the T-Rat.
No, we already talked about mine. Mine's a raven, yours is a raccoon, Sigvider's is a wolf.
Stupid fucking raccoon.
All right.
Now.
That's
You're getting a raccoon tattoo.
That's the new assignment. You know how we do, like, we haven't done it in a little bit, but like the extra assignments where we give them some time. What's your Fylgja?
That's not bad. What if
And then we'll make it all serious and like present really good ones and have them present like in details, and then I'll just say, mine's a raccoon, and then we end the call. Like,
all right.
We have about like 5 minutes.
I was gonna say,
Kill.
I know we're close. Keep in mind to everybody that does listen and is listening, ask us questions. You can shoot them to us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, or wherever else we're at now. I'm sure we're on almost every platform at this point.
Si, senor.
Ask us questions. Give us ideas for these calls. Give us stuff to go over.
We're struggling.
Dude, it's rough right now. We're trying to come up with stuff that we can go through these podcasts with. So we would love your guys' input, your ideas. Give us ideas for new shows.
Make our life easier so we can answer your questions in an hour and a half time frame.
And I mean, we do get questions, but they're very like people reaching out to us about a specific thing, not like a broad spectrum question. It's more like very personal stuff. Yeah. So for us, we don't want to make people shit. Even if it's a good topic of conversation, we're not gonna like maybe bring that up. Maybe eventually we will, and just bring their life into the conversation. But yeah, big broad hour plus questions would be great. It'd be cool.
Give us some broad scope questions about stuff that you either couldn't find, didn't find, or want to know our opinion on. We can go over them. We're happy to do that.
It doesn't even have to be an hour. It could be a half hour because we'll fill the other hour with our nonsense.
Yeah.
All mythological creatures that we can identify in the world today, like Nessie and shit.
Chewbacca.
I still believe dragons are around.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of more about dragons and how they die and things like that. I think I told you this, Sigmund, or maybe I told the narrator. I don't know, I was probably high at the time. I don't know who I was talking to. But where dragons, it was said that they would collect so much gold and hoard their gold that, you know, they would lay on top of it, sleep on top of it, and they would never leave their gold after they got so much wealth. And over time, they would sat still for so long, moss would grow over them, animals would go like kind of graze and whatnot, and that's where a lot of mountains were formed. Is they're actually sleeping dragons over centuries, and that's why there's like ridges and all sorts of like different shapes to it, and like that's a sleeping dragon. But that's just lore I've heard.
I know there's like the sleeping giant aspect to a lot of mountains.
Yeah, like you're near not Kennecott. What's the one down in Lehigh? Timpanogos.
Timpanogos, yeah.
Just like the sleeping woman.
I grew up under Mount Timpanogos. I was like 15 minutes from the mouth of that canyon, so yeah.
But that's the sleeping woman visage on the mountainside, which is really cool.
If you look it
just
up,
like Moana.
And body and everything, and I know there's other ones throughout the world that are very similar to that with the sleeping giant, or there's also the stone, and some people are saying they're sculpted, some people are saying that they're natural rock formations, but there's like the giant snakes in the Amazon and shit like that are in stone, and it's cool. That'd be cool though. That'd be a fun one. But yeah, ask us questions, please. Give us
like
something.
Moana, the sleeping earth goddess.
It's going to be rough too. These next couple streams that we do or whatever else, I'm going to be traveling, so it's going to be pure chaos for me. Okay. But I think I'll be in your time zone, because I think that's the same. It's the same one. I'll be in yours though, so it'll be a little bit easier.
Okay, it's at 9:00 here.
That sucks. But that's actually better because I got shit to do all day. So
fair enough. All right. Well,
I highly encourage everyone to take an animal test now because that was ridiculous.
Because you're a raccoon.
You're a fucking
I
trash
posted the
panda.
test I took into our chat. I figured eventually we're going to send to our students and be like, do this! Let us know what you think!
Jeez. All right. Well, for this week, I think that's it.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening to the New Uppsala podcast. We enjoy every minute of the nonsense that we create with these. It's great. I hope y'all.
Oh, did I tell you? Somebody, I'm just talking now. Someone
He's
reached
trying
out
to
to me
do
the other day.
closing comments. Shut the fuck up.
Whatever. Fine.
What the fuck? You're a crack.
No, he has
You're-
ADHD. Thank you for listening to the New Uppsala podcast. We will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.